Listen, I told you it don't matter. Just don't cuss. Damn. What's up, everybody? I am your boy, Sean Carson, and welcome to another exciting episode of the Closing Sidework. Thank you so much for joining me today. Before we go any further, y'all know the drill. If you haven't already, please hit like and subscribe down below. And as always, tell your friends to do the same damn thing. Today's episode, I want to kind of piggyback on something I mentioned on our last episode about having a large party and having to split the checks up. So this is just some friendly advice on the ins and outs, tips to help you not lose your mind. Now, the very first large party that I ever had with split check, I lucked out. Like I said, it was a party of 11 originally that turned into a party of literally 30 people. The saving grace is the people that I guess were organizing this party. They said, hey, listen, we're going to make this super easy for you. Just put all the food on one tab and put all the alcohol on another tab. And I was like, thank you so much. You just saved a life. Sometimes you may not be that lucky, but there's no reason to panic initially. You just have to be in the zone, focused, and paying attention. That's the number one thing. Communicate. I like to ask that question as soon as possible, like during the greet. Hey, folks, is this all going to be together or cut up? If they tell you it's on one check, you got nothing to worry about. But if it is going to be split up, just be mindful of what you're ringing and where you're ringing. There's no real right or wrong way to do it unless you're doing it wrong. So long as it's organized, if you want to split it by seat or you just remind yourself at the very end, that's okay. When you do have a bunch of checks, like I want to say 8, 9, 10 checks, timing and tempo is your friend. Now, if you're there out to eat and it's a dinner and it's a little more laid back, separating the check might not be all that high on your list of priorities. But every now and then, like if you're on a lunch shift, people are coming in from like an office somewhere and they've only got like a certain amount of time to get in and then get out. So what I like to do, as soon as I put the food in and the food hits the table, I ask everybody the first time, hey, does anybody need anything? You do some pre-bussing, some refills. Soon as you get the first chance, start cutting that check up right then and there. So that way, when they're like, the first person is like, I need my check, you can just drop them all on the table at the same time. To get people in and out, and they'll thank you for it. Don't be like me. The one time that I had multiple checks, I did it the wrong way. I didn't ask until the very end. They said originally it was going to be one check. Then as it turned out, something happened within the party, and they all wanted it separate because these people were drinking more than these people. And so I had to go in and cut everything up, and I didn't know what was going on. And they were getting understandably impatient because it took like literally 15, 20 minutes. They started getting super mad. I started like having high anxiety. Thankfully, my manager came out and kind of diffused the situation, kept them cool, kept me from completely just having a meltdown. And I promised myself if I survived that day, I would never, ever repeat that mistake. So I'm super, super on the ball now. Also, really quick, I have to say this to the people on the other side. If you come into a restaurant with like a bunch of y'all, please be mindful of the fact there is way more of y'all than there is of the people serving you. So yes, we're not going to be able to get 15 separate payments processed and back on the table in like 30 seconds. So just be patient. Don't be rude. Don't wait till the last minute to say, hey, we need our checks. But again, this does kind of fall on the server because you should always be anticipating that. Like I said, like the second that food hits, you need to be splitting the checks, getting them done, getting people processed, so forth and so on. So that way there's no headache for them, there's no headache for you, everybody leaves smiling and you don't have anybody in the parking lot wanting to fight you after you get out of work. So those are my pointers. If you can think of anything else that maybe I didn't address in this particular video, feel free to drop something below. Like I said, we're all learning, and if we can learn from each other, that will make everything better and more efficient. So thank y'all so much for letting me blab to y'all. You really are the real MVPs. Thank you for joining me today. My name is Sean Carson, as always, and we will see you next time on the Closing Sidework. I love y'all so much. Thank you.